Yeah, yeah. What's up? This Trigger Treach in the building, man. You know what I'm doing, man. I'm hanging out with Gallo, the guy you know. Already know. That part right there. Don't go nowhere. Stay here. That's my guy.
What's up? It's Nick Gallo, Gallo, the guy you know. I'm here with the legend himself, Treach. Bro, how have you been? How you feeling?
Oh man, it's all great. God is great. Another day.
Right? And I want to ask you first, it's crazy. Yeah, Jason's Lyric Live is out. And how did it feel? I want to ask you first, picking up the script after 30 years. What did that feel like? What emotions came back, what thoughts came back, because I'm sure you didn't expect to pick up, a script from a movie you did 30 years ago coming back to life.
In all actuality, it came about even the Jason's lyric concept and idea was from when I was doing myself and Alan Payne did New Jack City.
Hmm.
So just throwing ideas in the air, kicking around with Jacarius and everything else. And then we was like, you know what? The next play, one of the next ones better be Jason's lyric. You know, we both was in that movie. I don't want to just be in something Allen was in. So we was joking everything else. And I guess the light bulb went off and all our heads was like, oh, wow. Oh, you know what? That'll be pretty good. So once it became into reality and I knew Jay Kyle was doing it again, the director and writer, of New Jack City, I said, this gonna be a bomb. This gonna be so before I even read the script, I already was in the process of signing on. I already knew I was like, this gonna be amazing.
That's so awesome to hear and just know, just because I remember watching that movie when it came out. I was like, I think 6 or 7 years old, but I remember it like yesterday, buying it on VHS and having that and just seeing it now back to life. It's awesome. But I wanted to ask you, you know, being casted at that time back in the 90s, how was that for you? Because that's when music and entertainment was at an all-time high. Like, and you were
Hmm.
balancing music, film, because you already did two cameos, but this was like
Hmm.
your first headline film. And
Yep.
then as well as, yeah, touring as well. How did you balance all of that and keep, like, because there was so much going on, I feel, for you at that time.
Yeah. I mean, it was basically just I had a great team, Flavor Unit Management, Queen Latifah, Shakim. And Latifah always said when he came out, like, yo, you're gonna be doing more than just music. You might not even yet, but you're definitely going to be in films. You're going to do a lot of things you never even planned on doing. So, my first cameo was in the movie Juice, and my
Yep.
buddy, Tupac, you know, he got me up in there. I read for it, but I had no background in acting or anything. So I read for the role, but I knew, you know, my performance was trash. I didn't know anything about acting. But when I got on that film, and it was more than just the scenes I was in. I became like a sponge, as they say, bitten by the bug. I was looking how they filmed. I was looking at the direction. I was looking at the cameras. I was looking at the production, the whole machine behind it. So I'm like, wow, this is definitely where I want to be. So each cameo I had, I was learning from different actors. That was like my schooling. I would ask questions. Pop was like basically my acting coach. You know what I mean? And he went to school for it and everything else. So anything I needed to know, I went through him. And plus Latifah, she was acting. So any questions I had, I went there. So it was just a blessing for me to be successful in the music industry because that gave me easier route into the film world. Even though I had to read for like Jason's lyric, they knew that they wanted someone like me that had, you know, of course, the following I had, which would bring sales to the movie and attention to the movie. So I was ready really for acting once I got that role. I was really ready.
That's awesome. And what's the biggest piece of advice or something that Pac told you that you keep with you to today? because, like you said, he was already doing films, and like you said, he kind of guided you. What's one thing he taught you?
He taught me, and basically Charles Dutton, The Rock, he did too. He had directed a film I was in as well, First Time Felon. And one thing, the exact words out of Charles Dutton mouth was, "All right, when I say action actors, don't act on it." And Pac said the same thing. It's like he's like, "You acting, but you are here to make it as believable as possible to the audience. So it's not like you trying to overact or you do it just the way you would do it in real life. You know what I mean? That's the secret to it. Don't act, do it from the heart and make sure that it's not only, it has to be convincing to you before it's going to be convincing on film or to an audience."
Dope, that's awesome. And I know as well, you are almost about halfway through the tour.
Mhm.
How has it been this go around being back on a stage play? Like you said, you had New Jack City you were on. How has it been so far? Because, touring's a lot, especially as with the play. It's a different ball game than, a music tour, just
Yeah.
regular touring.
Definitely. I mean, it's definitely challenging as far as just, the traveling part of it. You know what I mean? Different town, different days, getting into the venues. Like I've been up since 5:30 this morning doing press. So it's not just the acting part or the getting on stage. It's a whole production type value, promotion, and all types of things. So I mean, it's challenging, but it's exactly what I signed up for. You know what I mean? I love the arts, which is music and film and acting. So it's like it's all a part of the game, and it's like I'm just honored to be able to do it in a whole different realm, a whole different theater actually than normally acting or doing a film, and then you have these set scenes that you film during each day or whatever else. You run it through the whole thing every single day, so it's never a dull moment. It's always exciting and it's fun. And when you have a great project like this, it's like the majority of the actors that's not uh actually running backstage to change for a next scene or anything else, we're watching the play as well, and we see it every night. So we know, it's the bomb when you could do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's like a blessing. Like you said, you could still watch it as well as be in it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
how I was so excited when I heard, you were casted for the live version as well as Kay Michelle playing your girlfriend Marty. I was super excited just because I love Kay, her personality, and I seen some of her films that she did on Lifetime. I wanted to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
how was it building that camaraderie together in rehearsal and then on stage? Because I feel like both of your personalities just mesh very well.
Yeah, one great thing about it, and I've had just the pleasure and the blessing of having the plays that I work in. The chemistry between the actors, all the actors, is mandatory. Like for it to really come off right, and everybody just meshes with each other fabulously. And I credit that as well to Jay Cal, the director, because we did rehearsals for like a month, 4 to 5 weeks before we even had our first show. Our pre-show, which it was like 3 weeks worth of tech. I mean, regular 3.5 weeks worth of regular rehearsals and a week and a half of tech. So through that, every day was 10 to 12 hours worth of rehearsals. So you get to know each other. You spend time with each other. It was like really like a summer camp type of thing with your peers, where you going for one thing, but you build a relationship and a whole family type of vibe through the whole thing. And one thing with theater, like I said, there's no take twos, there's no cut, there's no start overs. So if any mistakes happen on the stage, like the crowd will never even know because we got each other back. You know what I mean? We hold each other down no matter what. It's like certain things happen, even whether it's, changing and time wise and can't get to this spot or that spot or something technical or anything else. Like the crowd like I said, 99% of the time would never even know. And if they do know or see something was there, it'll go by and it's covered so quick. It's like, nah, that was just part of the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I love that. It's awesome. I give you so much credit because people don't understand like stage play, Broadway, off Broadway. It's so much discipline. Like between the matinees and like you said, traveling to different cities, having a matinee and a night show, 2 days in a row sometimes, as well as just keeping it up. It's all on schedule. It's not like you're on a regular music tour and you could go on when kind of you want to go on or when you're ready. It's, a
Yeah.
team coming together and how even when you start, like you're starting, you did Jason's Lyric now, but doing New Jack City and getting prepared for the stage plays, how did you like discipline yourself? Because I don't know if I could ever do it. 'Cause it's a lot of, motivation and discipline to get you focused on that.
Oh yeah. I mean, the one of the most important things to get focused is taking care of yourself. You know what I mean? You got to rest up. It's back in the working out every day, changing your diet, and like I said, we do press days before we even do shows. So it's not like you just have the 2 hours if it's one show or 4 hours if it's two shows. It's like an all day work in progress type of thing. Then you have hours you come in beforehand for sound and tech and all the rest of that. So it's a full day, all those days. You could do that 5 to 6 days a week. You know what I mean? And then the other day or 4 days and the other 2 days and a half is travel time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you got to be, they always say health is wealth. And you got to get your rest on. You got to be eating right. You got to work out to make sure that you up to the task of the job that's at hand.
definitely. Yeah, I give you credit for that because that's it's a tough gig. It definitely is. So I
Mhm.
applaud you on that. But my final two questions, because I know you're a busy guy. Like you said, it's show day. It's going to be, the weekends here. What has been your favorite city so far, and what city are you looking forward to still?
Well, as the young cats say, no cap, no cap. Every city, because the crowd is different. Every city, they have their favorite parts. Um, the way they interact with us on stage, and the comments, and the laughing, crying, cheering, oohing, eyeing. You know what I mean? The excitement. Every crowd is different. The reaction is different. Um, but like I said, you have a movie like this where you got people that are saying the lines right along with you. That's their favorite lines. They remember them. A lot of people who haven't seen the movie or haven't seen it in years, they watch it before they even come, so they refresh and everything else. And it's just like I said, they always say like, "What's the difference with theater?" Makes it like I say like your favorite artist, your music artist had an album. The difference is you go and see him live. You got the
Hmm.
album, and live is a whole different high. You feel a whole different experience. Like I call this, I call it a magical musical. You know what I
I
mean?
love
You got
that.
in it, you got singing in it, you got chorus, you got dance, you got band, and from the LED lights and the stage tech and all the rest of that in the background, like you really feel like you in the Fifth Ward in Houston.
And I love that the one thing I really do, the score of the live band for the score.
Yeah,
That's one of the most important pieces I feel like for
you
the
get
theater.
all that in one. You know what I mean? Like not just you hear a score in a movie when you're watching it, but it's actually live. So it's like you
Yeah,
got it in sound, stereo sound, and actually you literally feel like you could reach out and touch the artist because they right in front of
definitely. And then, my final question, been in the game for over 30 years. I congratulate you because you are a pioneer in this game, one of the first, still doing it, still killing it. What do you want your legacy to be? Would you say, like, what do you ever plan? What you want your legacy to be? And like, do you ever plan to retire, or do you want to just ride it out till the wheels fall off?
you. Man, definitely ride it out till the wheels fall off. Like I always say, like they look at certain rappers like after 30 years old, you shouldn't be rapping anymore. You shouldn't be making new music, which is the only culture they say that for. But it's a beautiful thing to me. Like we're not athletes. Like we don't have to
Mhm.
worry about an injury or anything else to make us or force us into retirement. You see the greats from James Brown and Tina Turner, the list goes on, Elton John and so many others that's out there. Bruce Springsteen that never ever stop. They go till they drop. And one thing beautiful about acting, I always say, you could get a role for any age range. Whether you was a son, a father, grandfather, great grandfather, you know what I mean, an OG or new head from every aspect of your life, there's a role that's out there that's written for somebody in your age range. So retire who? I don't
Right?
even I don't know what that is.
I love that. I love hearing that because I hate when I hear that from an artist. I'm like, oh no, you can't do that. You can't do that to me. We gotta, like you said, you can never not do it. So why not do it till the wheels fall off? But Stretch, I want to thank you so much. It was an honor speaking with you. It's Nick Gallo, Gallo, the guy you know, and we out.
Peace.
Hey.